My name is Maren Elfert. I'm a lecturer in the School of Education, Communication and Society at King's College London. I received a National Academy of Education Spencer Foundation Fellowship for a study on the history of educational planning in developing countries. There is much we can learn about the rise of educational planning in the 1960s, when in the context of the Cold War, international development became a foreign policy issue. And underpinned by human capital theory, education rose to prominence as a key pillar of social and economic development. This was the time when a system of global governance of education emerged, involving international organizations, universities, and philanthropic foundations, that has been instrumental in shaping and normalizing a technocratic, rationalistic, and economistic approach to education that is influential to this day. These developments were furthered by the rising influence of certain international organizations in developing countries that were tied to the hegemonic power of American free market capitalism, such as the World Bank, whose rise as a development agency was achieved to the detriment of UNESCO, the United Nations Specialized Organization for Education. I'm interested in showing how our way of thinking about and organizing education is determined by historical trajectories. In this research, I trace the continuities between the economics of education developed during the pioneering years of educational planning in the 1960s and contemporary approaches to education. I argue that the dominance of large-scale assessment surveys such as PISA and the strong focus on metrics in the context of Sustainable Development Goal 4 can be traced back to the post-World War II and Cold War period and post-colonial approaches to educational planning.